Hello, my name is Kyle and welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about Brittney Griner and her sentence being upheld 9 years in the slammer for the drug charge that she suffered earlier this year. And I'm coming to you remote for a few days until I get back to the studio. I got some remote things going on that I'm working on. But in the meantime, I just wanted to get on here and give my take, probably my last take on Brittney Griner. We have a couple of videos on this. You can go check those out for yourself. But this is a tragic situation on so many different levels. And the real thing to take away from this is quite clear is the fact that people need to respect the United States of America, need to respect the freedoms that we have in this country. Do not go against the lesson we learned here from Brittney Griner. If you're woke, if you think that you are above the law in terms of your complexion, you can get away with things, you can do things socially because right now the status that you happen to be in happens to be the in status. And right now, if you're brown, that's kind of the in status. That's the construct of social justice, which really means, it really doesn't mean anything other than the fact that if you are in a certain class, you have to stay in that class and you have to behave, act, and think like everyone in that class. And by the way, there's some sort of upper group or I don't know, some think tank or something that determines all of this. And who knows what that is very arbitrary. But nevertheless, it exists. Typically, it's going to be an amalgamation between the blue check marks on Twitter and the news and the White House press secretary. Somewhere in between there, you're going to have a consensus on what is acceptable in society. Well, right now, if you're brown here in America, you got a leg up. If you're white, well, not so much. But I'm really getting away from the point here. The point is Brittney Griner had a several checkbox filled status in this country. Okay, I'll let you figure out that for yourself. But she filled a bunch of check boxes and was really, by our society, untouchable until she went to a country that didn't care. That would be Russia. Russia was like, oh yeah, you think that's going to play well here in Russia? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's not going to play that way here in Russia because we have common sense here in Russia and we actually take our laws seriously and we enforce our laws. Unlike here in America, where you can do a lot of bad things and get off scot-free. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't have to name any examples whatsoever, especially if you're a liberal. If you're a leftist, you can do what you want. It doesn't matter. The rules don't matter for you. You can do whatever you want. You can leave soldiers overseas and even ignore petitions to be rescued. You can file up and blow up email servers and all that kind of stuff. You can do that and no big deal. You can lie before grand jury testimonies and before Congress and no big deal. But you know what? Don't you dare go against something that was legal and be conservative. They will throw you in jail if you even bend the law a little bit. And that's just the reality that we live in. We live in a two-tier society, and that's just the way it is. But here's the thing. Brittney Griner was on that left side. I was going to say right side, but she's on that left side of that equation, which means she should have been untouchable, which she was here in America, but she was in Russia, and they don't play that. They don't. And here we are. Now she's going to have to suffer through 9 years of imprisonment. And it really is tragic because, you know, a lot of people on this channel say she doesn't deserve it. I don't know. I mean, because you break the law in another country, you really deserve it. You know, it goes back to sin. We deserve sin. We deserve the punishment of sin. So even though it seems harsh for us, that's the law of their land. And you have to abide by those laws. But it should give us an appreciation of what we have here in America and the freedoms we have, the appeals that we have to get by. Because had this happened in America exactly the way it was, she would not be serving this time. And I'll bring in one more thing. President Trump did the same thing for some gentlemen that went over to, I believe it was China, I believe. I may be wrong. They committed some crimes and Trump got on the horn. Next thing you know, these kids from UCLA, I believe, they were the ones that they came home. Of course, they first thanked them and then they reneged on it because of the pressures from the woke Twitter mob. I mean, how dare anyone give Trump any credit for anything? So that was whatever. But we know Trump had a hand in that. And the ironic thing is that Trump would have had a hand in this had he had the decision to make. He would have made sure this was done, sealed, and that it would have been negotiated properly. Because Biden, he doesn't know how to let the other side save face. He's putting words out there in the sphere of attacking and saber rattling left and right. And there is just not a good diplomatic climate for something like this. And there we have it. So unfortunately for Brittney, it's a perfect storm against her. The wrong time, wrong place, the wrong administration. And there you go. She can't have it. So The lesson here is to not do what she does, and also to appreciate America, and also to respect the laws of other countries when you go there. And that's really all we can do. And also remember that communism is horrible. Socialism and communism is horrible. And yet these people want that same thing here in America. The whole thing, all this stuff, well, we hate America, this and that. But the result of what's happening to Brittney Griner right now is the exact same thing some of you blue checkmark woke folk want here in America. But yet you still want to complain that this somehow is wrong. Please, somebody, make this make sense. If it makes sense to you, please check out some more videos on our channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.